Yeah, the United States.
Oh, yeah, United States is easy. Brazil, I got that one. Oh, yeah. What?
I don't know what that one. That one is Sweden. I don't know the yellow, blue, red one. Is it Romania? Luke, you on mute, or am I not hearing
Oh,
something?
that was me.
All right.
Sebastian, what is that flag? Where is that from? The red and black squares with the white cross. Okay. Right.
Where can we see how many people are in here? Oh, 20. Oh, 90. All right. Got it.
Yeah, so I think I'm still admitting people. This is why we're playing for time because we've got 100 people now, so that could be the maximum. Everyone else is going to be on YouTube. So, guys, congratulations. If you're in Zoom, you made the cut. Oh, someone's already asked a question. How does your insane percussive technique work? Well, good question. That's chapter one of what we're going to talk about.
Oh, is it chapter one, huh?
Yeah, it's chapter one. It's chapter one. Right. So,
Can I
guys,
see you guys also? I can see you. Wait a second. Can I go in here? And then I see all of you. Jesus.
have you found the gallery view?
All right. Yeah, I'm not doing that one. Too many people. Should we bring our guitars? I mean, if you're like in your room or in your studio, whatever, you can like bring your guitar and we can like immediately start to do something.
Right. So, people are sitting with their guitars. Okay. So we're officially live on YouTube. I think, yeah, there's about 20 people tuned in, so that link's working. We're, yeah, we're at about 120 now. Right. So I'll do some introductions. Um, Welcome. My name's Luke. I run a company called Guitar Vivo, and we are delighted to have Manuel Gardner Fernandes here with us, who, well, I've been following for a while. I haven't seen you do many of these, so I think this is quite like a rare opportunity for us to get to ask you some questions and pick your brain a bit.
Cool.
So we are going to stick to our normal format for those of you that have been to our events before. I'll be speaking to Manuel, asking some questions. We've got a plan of some things we want to share with you, based on a surprise product reveal coming up. We've got a plan, but after that, we will go to an open Q&A where you can ask us anything you want, all those burning questions that I'm sure you've got, because this guy can do a lot of stuff, and I've even got questions for him. So that's how we're going to run it. It's really a friendly place. You can say whatever you want. You can ask. There's no stupid questions. If you do think of a question, be sure to just put it in the chat as soon as you can, because then I can keep track of them. Don't feel like you have to save it to the end, because then it's a bit of a mad rush and we end up disappointing a few people. Although, given how many people there are here, we're going to try our best to get through all these questions, but I'm sure we might have time for everyone.
Yeah, the community is very, very nice and huge when it comes to questions, right?
Yeah,
They know what
yeah,
I mean.
I'm sure. I mean, even if they weren't here, Manu, I'd have enough to fill the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think just to give people one more minute to find links and to be happy, maybe you could just start by giving us a little background about yourself, your musical history, what's happening with your band, and things like that. Just for those of us that don't know you, that maybe found you through our mailing list.
Yeah, sure. I mean, um, they have to tell my name. I'm pretty sure like the people know who I am.
Yeah, I
Manu.
said your name. Did I say to say your name? If I did, ignore that.
No, no. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have to say something because the people probably didn't expect me to be like back at a time because we just canceled a tour.
Yes. What happened with
Um,
that?
yeah, I had to cancel. the China and to Japan too, because I don't know. I felt like it was I had like a little like a of a burnout in a way because we started touring like I don't know 2 years ago, like almost full time, and it just immediately hit me. And then I had something going on with my health, so yeah, we just did that one. But I'm back on track, and currently writing shit ton of new and process material. Um, so yeah, and other than that, my volume 6 will be out on the 19th of what do we have? July? Yeah. Um, that's it.
So I think, yeah, the burnout thing is real. That tours are pretty tough, but you sing as well, right? I imagine
Yeah.
the moment you start to get burnt out, you can't, like, the vocal instrument is so sensitive.
Oh yeah, it is. And it's so weird because like a shit ton of like musicians and bands are starting to I wouldn't say cancel, but they try to like really be careful with like their health, which is a good thing because I don't know, like I figure or like what I think about like the bands and the artists that made it like during the 90s or like 80s or like whatever, they took so many drugs so they didn't care about like a single fucking thing. So people nowadays and like nowadays bands and like artists, they just like they try to like um I don't know, not take drugs all the time. So maybe that's the reason why.
I mean, maybe the drugs help fuel you and numb the burnout. I don't know, but it's an interesting observation.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a theme in these questions, guys. You're going to be very happy because they're pretty much what we're talking about. I'll Before we get into that, I'll tell you a little bit about why we're here and what we're actually here to promote, which is
Oh yeah,
a
the
very
people don't
exciting.
know.
People don't know. No one knows. This is the first um, unveiling, should we call it? So for about a year, we've been working on this. Let's see if this works. I'm going to share my screen real quick. So this is coming out tomorrow. That's a pretty good picture if I do say so myself. I didn't take it, but I picked it. This is coming out tomorrow. This is Manu's first book, and new book, and our first book together. It's a great many firsts, and basically this book, if you guys have been paying attention to the chat and the questions that have been coming up, this book is going to hit all of those boxes for you guys. What Manu did, was he wrote little manageable musical etudes that have a technique focus, much in the way that a classical musician would, or classical musicians would practice, like Paganini caprices, things like that. And we've compiled it, broken them down, written out how to work through it, given little breakdowns, and there you have all these etudes that pretty much go through each of Manu's signature techniques one by one, and then it finishes in. So there's 7 chapters. We'll talk about all the exercises because we'll actually be giving you some practical advice for them today. There's 7 chapters, and then it finishes off with 3 monster etudes where you've combined all the techniques, and it's not beginner, intermediate, advanced. It's intermediate, advanced, and then final boss level etude. So that's the reason behind this. This is our special like book launch masterclass, and we've got some special stuff going on. If you want to get the PDF for the next 24 hours, you can get it for like 20% off. I'll put the link in the Zoom chat. It's also in the YouTube video. And if you've signed up for this, I'll be emailing out the Amazon link to get the paperback tomorrow, and it'll also be at a sale price. So if you've signed up, you'll get a discount. You can get the PDF for a lower price now, or you can get the paperback tomorrow. Or you can pre-order the PDF now. It all drops tomorrow. Okay, enough of the boring sales pitch. Let's get to the real reason why we're here. We're going to pick your brain. We're going to go one by one through these techniques and through these chapters. And what we'll do is, guys, while we're going through this, so maybe we'll be talking about alternate picking. If you guys are having specific problems with that, just whack that in the chat and I'll keep an eye out for it. But I think we'll just kind of riff and you'll share some exercise with us to develop these things. Okay, so I can breathe. I think we'll start. Chapter 1 in the book is percussive strumming. And that's something that you've kind of really become known for as maybe one of the best guys to do it. So I think that'd be a nice place to start. Could you tell us a little bit about where your approach to it came from and then maybe share some exercises to help us get into it?
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I love my percussive strumming, as you all probably know. Now, honestly, it came through like metal, straight up. I listened to like all the metal bands back in the days, still am. I grew up with like Metallica and stuff. And I was like the biggest fan. Oh, someone just bought the book. That's insane. By the way, can I say something about that real quick of the
Yeah,
book,
sure.
the book topic before I continue? Honestly, that is so sick that we have a book because no one is doing a book anymore. And it is so sick to have like material in front of you where you can actually like learn and like, I don't know, like give to someone or whatever. So and also thank you so much, by the way, for like all the hundreds of people being in here. That means really the world to me. So yeah, make sure to buy the book. And yeah, I don't know, I think it's a very, very special thing, honestly.
It is. One of my favorite things is when I go to like a Martin Miller concert or something or a clinic and someone comes up with the book and asks me
Yeah,
to sign it. It's so, well, it's just a great feeling.
yeah, it will be the first book that I probably study and read after like 20 years. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Question. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
percussive strumming.
I grew up with Metallica and James Hetfield. He did like, let's take the guitar, huh? He did like all the the down picking, like and I always thought it was like super sick. Um because it sounds so percussive when you do like all down picking whatever thing. And then one of my guitar teachers, I was maybe like 11 or 12, he introduced me to flamenco. And I thought that was super sick because like also like it sounds like there are like tons of like instruments in one guitar. And I don't know. Then I started like mixing these up. Um and I was a big fan of like, do you guys know Monuments? And um oh, I didn't have my guitar plugged in yet. It's just this for now. I'll edit later. Yeah, I don't know, like I was a big fan of them and I was a big fan of like all the upcoming like prog and whatever bands. So yeah, I don't know, I just mixed up certain things.
I think one thing that blew my mind was that you're actually palm muting while you do it.
Yeah, this.
So even while you're doing downstrokes and upstrokes, you're not just muting with the left hand, you're muting with the right hand as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's like wait a second, there's a little bit of latency going on. Let me mm, 1 second. Oh yeah, so what I do is, so literally the first move is having the whole hand on the strings, basically. like this. You guys know these small soccer or like football, whatever your country is, these small soccer things where you do it with your
Football.
hand. I always compare it with that technique. It's just like a little snip. I don't know. If you think it that way, you use like your whole arm to like get this sound because it has nothing to do with that one. Like we're not doing the carry king movement like this, you know. Otherwise, you'll be like dead in 10 minutes. So I do this. So the movement just really comes from my whole hand, like hand and fingers. That's all. And what I do is like I stay here. So there's like no effort because I'm very lazy. It all comes from laziness. You know, I'm very lazy. I stay here and just do the movement. That's it. This is where like the technique comes from, like the very dead sound.
Interesting. And did you stumble across that yourself? That happened from transitioning from metal and palm muting to like a cleaner sound and the flamenco thing.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to play that what I already played with the clean sounds. Um, yeah,
And in the book, you mention like doing down, down, up exercises.
yeah,
What exactly is that? Could you just like, or what would you do to make that more
yeah.
interesting?
So we got the down thing with that one, and to get like another tone out of it is like using upstrokes. Um, and you can think of it like that. Imagine being a drummer, and that this is where like all the percussive and like all the licky things come from, like because I love drums. I cannot play it, but I just love the sound, and I love like the way the fill-ins go between certain parts. So what I love is I think I think of like a kick drum when you do like the down things, and like the snare or like toms, whatever, when you do like upstrokes on like the higher notes. So you get like a little drum fill in when you do this, you know? So yeah, that's the down, down, up technique. Um, what I always like say.
Is there a way to hear the guitar and do that with the?
You don't hear the guitar?
No, oh, it could be that. So we did a sound check earlier and there was some compression problems.
Yeah.
Noise can even with original sound turned on.
Hmm.
Let's
Better?
maybe it's changed again. Could you turn the guitar up a bit?
Sure. Better? Oh,
A little bit.
maybe something is assume is something is very weird assumed today. No.
Let's try. I mean, could you swap
Let
your
me check one thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I know the problem. Um,
Also, someone said Zoom audio profile, live performance audio.
yeah, this is what I'm doing all the time. No, wait a second.
So, on original sound on.
Better?
That was a little bit better. Keep, it's still doing it.
Yeah, it's like a compression thing, right?
Could you try swapping your Zoom from to just being your room mic, like your laptop mic? It'll sound a bit worse, but that'll bypass your interface.
So the thing is, it should be through the microphone as well. Like you should be able to hear the strings and stuff like that. But I don't know why there's a gate because I did not do a gate. I hate it so much.
Let's just check one thing.
I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 minute. I'll. Oh, that. No.
No, no, still there's a
Hmm.
yeah. Sorry, guys, we have done that. Original sound is on.
Well, I'm sorry, but can you hear like the strings a little bit though?
No, we couldn't. Um,
That is so weird. Literally. Is it completely canceling out? That is so weird.
well, that's better.
Jesus.
Well,
Remember
don't
these
move
old
it.
Skype days? Skype was the shit, but Zoom was right. All right. All right.
Oh my god, that sounds great. Okay, let's start this thing again. Percussive strumming.
Yeah.
Cut.
I'm sorry, guys. It's live, you know? Okay, so where was I?
So we were talking about down, down, up, picking. Let's
Yeah,
just
like
get into
this.
the technique.
Yeah, like this one. Like I'm using the higher strings as like a different tone to it. So yeah, this is what I call the down and up technique. I mean, it's a good warm up technique if you guys want to warm up, and it's also like a nice way to like think about it in a different way.
Okay. And sorry, did you say you studied drums at all, or you just emulate it?
Oh no, I just emulated it. Like I'm a bad drummer. I
Okay,
barely drum. When I'm on the drum set, Leon will give me a knockout and then I'm gone. So no.
awesome. So before we move on, is there any other like go-to patterns or anything we should know about that, or ways to practice it?
Yeah, we got the down and up technique, which is I mean it's a starter. It's a starter. But I'm pretty sure like all of these guys over here, and girls will probably have that. Everything that is like more advanced will be in the book. And I don't know, just switch it up. Like do like your own patterns with it. Just do, play drums with your guitar. That's all. Basically that's what I do. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So we'll go. Oh, someone did ask a question about it. One second, let me scroll up to it. Oh, when you formulate the strumming patterns, do you go for regular patterns or do you also introduce polyrhythms intentionally? I suppose the
The
question is like
question is
how,
very intelligent.
yeah, how thought out is what you're doing, or is it more of a natural?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not thought out. So when I play mostly, I mean, I got honestly like I got my patterns and I repeat them loads. When I do something very different, it is then intentionally like written or like produced or recorded in that way, and then I have to like learn it. But I got like a very specific muscle memory going on for sure.
Okay, so it's kind of like licks almost. You have a
Yeah, it is pretty much like licks. It is very much like licks.
interesting.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple of questions about the pick that you're using, and does that matter for percussive strumming?
Uh, I would say no. I would say just use the pick that where you're like the most comfortable with, honestly. Um, probably too soft is a little bit weird because you don't get like the nice percussiveness out of those strings. But if you feel like super comfortable with like soft picks, just go for it. It just changes the tone pretty much, but not really the feel as I don't know, not really.
Awesome. Um, cool. I think that covers our questions on percussive strumming. Um, did you ever, well, just when you're working on it and trying to take these ideas from drummers, did you ever actually transcribe drummers or take a groove and like go, oh, I'm going to put that groove into this technique?
Yeah. So what I did is I program the drums. Like when it comes to like the in-process demos, I program them all, and like I'm doing this now since like maybe 2012. So I had to get like an idea of how drums are being made and how certain films are being like played. So I can program drums. I know what to do, but I'm just like not physically able to play drums.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So the actual second technique that you cover in the book is one that people have already asked about again, and that is tapping. And in the book, you also do some tapped harmonics and things like that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what got you into tapping and your early exercises, the basically beginner's guide to getting into it, and then maybe we'll do some advanced stuff as well.
Yeah. You see that, Luke? You talk about like tapping harmonics, and all these guitarists start to like play tapping harmonic licks. That's what like. We have like very much advanced players in here.
Yeah.
It
So
is
should
insane.
we can just start at the advanced level then.
Yeah. No. So tapping harmonics, for those who like not able to play them by now, everyone is doing them. Everyone is playing dad rows. All right. So um basically what what the thing is you got like your natural harmonics in here. Probably everyone has played them. But there's a way to like do this with like all the frets and like all the notes. Um, so imagine you're like 0 fret, 0, 12, 1 octave, right? So it's like always, you know? Um, just think about it as that way. You can do this and this. So you just tap it. But not really. You just like slightly poke the strings. Because otherwise you just completely tap those and it will not sound like these harmonics you want to achieve.
So I think something that people have asked about is the tone, and this was something I learned from doing
Yeah.
the book with you. How important certain effects are and certain settings are. What can we do to get the best, well, to set ourselves up for tapping
Oh
success?
yeah, absolutely. So currently that sound is just like an amp. I'm using the quad cortex right now with like my own capture. Back in the days, I don't know, I probably overused compression because honestly, wait a second, there's a way I can just like show it now. So let me add a compressor and you will see what it adds. All right, this is with a compressor now. Like it sounds so much more there, but what I did, I overused the compressor in ways where you heard the frequencies that you don't want to hear. So what I'm doing now is now like I'm really trying to get like rid of all the super crazy compression because it is very like it is a very fragile technique. Like if you go like slightly up with your finger and not hit the note, it will sound super different. And what the compression is doing is it will allow the frequencies to pop up, even the frequencies that you don't want. So I'm not the biggest fan of super heavy compression anymore. But I am a big fan of pitching your actual performance up an octave. Like this. So this is without compression, without any reverb, whatever. It's the same chord. So, oh wow, this was just the octave. That was not what I wanted. That one. So it is that it's just that, and it sounds like a synthesizer, basically. So if you add like the higher performance, like the higher octave, it will just directly sounds like the Dad Rose riff. Without it, I mean, it's pretty. Let me do just like maybe 20% of the octave, and you will hear it. Like it sounds compressed, but it's not. It's just like adding the higher frequencies. That's all. So yeah, really try to play with like the octave thing more than with compression.
And am I right in that you developed your technique for things like this by composing songs and trying to play them, or did you have
Yeah,
exercises?
yeah, that's true. So I don't know, you always saw like guitars that I'm like doing this with yeah, high octave. I mean, low octave could also work, but probably not too much. So yeah, I composed it or like produced it with like a synth mellow or whatever, like before, and then I started to play that. So yeah, because I saw some guitarists doing that, but it was just slightly for like not in technique way, but they were like playing a solo like and then do this. But I never saw someone like actually playing like full melodies or like chords with it, so I just tried it.
It's really interesting because a lot of the things that you do, I first saw them done by acoustic guitarists. You know, the
Yeah,
percussive strumming and really intricate harp harmonics and things like that. Was that a part of how you found it, or it was just kind of by chance that you did it?
yeah, pretty much. Like I saw some like acoustic guitar players doing like something like that, but not too much. They didn't like play a whole riff just out of tapping harmonics, and I thought it could be cool.
And someone just asked, are you using this pitching on the Die on the Cross of the Martyr?
Um, I don't think so. I think I used like for and everything in between. It was like the first time that I did not do like any compression or like any octave whatever on the tapping harmonics because I wanted the raw sound. But what I did was I think for the second verse, like delay effects with like for the stereo image. Just I think it's cool. If you record yourself and you have like your main performance and you don't want to play it twice, just copy your performance and do something with the performance that it's not the same, and pan it to the left and to the right, and you got like a stereo image.
Interesting. Someone has, well, actually, I'll ask this one first. Someone just said they're having problems on the higher strings. Is that normal? Is it just harder
Yeah,
strings, or is there tips for that?
absolutely, absolutely. Don't freak out when the high string is just like really, really, really annoying to play. Like I'm barely getting a tone out of it. It's very listen, like that's the best I can do without like any compression or whatever. But honestly, try to play with your pick positions because I probably play in the hardest pick positions with like the single coil neck. Um, and the middle position is the way to go when it comes to tapping harmonics, honestly.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Let me change it and you will hear the difference. All right. We go from like that one to that position, the first position to like the last one. Middle. It's the fullest for sure. So yeah, the position of like where you put your placement is like really important.
That's another one of those little insights that it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does.
And you probably wouldn't have stumbled across it by yourself. So thanks for that. That's really useful.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, a lot of that stuff you're tapping octaves. Someone's asked you to tap other things like do you find different harmonic spots, fifths and things like that, or is it always octaves?
Oh, I think it's always octave. I never tried something else. Maybe it could work. Um, but it's probably pretty hard, right? Yeah, not trying that one.
Yeah, that makes
No,
sense.
I stay with the octave for sure.
Or someone's also asked, does that middle pickup position also apply to two humbuckers?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, um, cool. I think. Um, how do you use the other fingers in tapping harmonics? I can only use the index. So what fingers are you using? Do you use all four fingers when you're doing it?
Um, yeah. In the beginning, I was very crazy when it came to that. Like the first time that I played Dead Rose live with like even with my thumb, like this. But it is very hard. It is very, very hard. So mostly like I'm using these three fingers.
Right. So did you just thump the harmonic then as well?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, it is something that you could like try with, but I just like I gave up on the thump because it it covers too much space. Honestly, the thump is just too thick thump. But yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. That is it's very nice because it covers like all the um all the information it's giving with like all these three fingers. I think I never tried to do tapping harmonies with my pinky. I think it would be straight death. But yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Okay. I think we'll move on to chapter three, which
Yeah.
is, I already saw some questions about this as well. Guys, the chat's been going, so if you can repost your questions as we go, if they become relevant again. Chapter three is hybrid picking. Can you talk a little bit about your approach to that, how you found it, how you discovered it, and how you started?
Hybrid. Yeah. So hyper picking also something that I took from a different instrument, not from drums but from bass. Because David and yeah, David was doing like all the hybrid thing. I saw some neo soul guitarists doing that with like chords like this, like this. I thought, dude, that could be so sick just to edit with like all the crazy techniques. And it's super sick because you might not believe that, but I got the smallest hands. My hands are so small. Look at these. So I am lazy, and there's a way to like avoid this and to avoid this. To just be lazy, you have like a chord that is like very hard to pick, and you just do like no movement at all. It's just like very nice. So you can you can try these with like also these special three fingers right here. Pick position like you used to. It's not really a big deal like where to put the pick, whatever. It's just like where you feel the most comfortable with, and try to like go string per string like this octave E to the and then the middle finger. Then the next step is just like put the index finger in there and play like the fifth. And if you are way too crazy about things, just use the pinky for like. But no one does that. Like you have to be a freak to do that. Honestly, I'm not doing that. And then you can like add some crazy stuff because this is what I also love about like hybrid picking is that you can leave the sustain without interrupting the note. For example, with harmonics. Like this. So it really allows you to like go from this note in your head directly to the other one without picking there because you can stay here where you were, you know. So this is really nice.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize it, but hybrid picking is more economical than economy picking. You
Oh,
get to stay in the same
absolutely.
place.
Yeah.
Someone has asked, obviously you don't use the pointer finger when you're doing hybrid picking. You're always using the pick, right? You don't ever drop it and do all fingers, do you?
What do you mean?
So, do you play? Well, someone's asked, are you also using the index finger when you're hybrid picking?
Yeah. No. No. Absolutely not. Did I say index finger? I'm sorry.
No, no,
I
I
meant.
think it
I
was
meant
just
that. I did say index finger. Sorry. I'm stupid, guys. I meant ring finger and middle finger for sure. I'm not playing with the index finger. It's not working at all.
and so someone's asked, can you give tips for a new guitarist? I guess like the first exercise is just to play those chords and arpeggiate them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like just do a chord that you like. Start simple with like open E, the second fret on the A string, and the second fret on the E string, and just build your way out of it. Just do. Can you guys see it properly? Like this. Just do that one, and do it all over again. Like and build chords around it. Like this. And then you can like do your own licks and riffs and exercises with it for sure.
Well, so we'll take a little diversion there because someone's asked about composing these things. They've asked when you're composing your tapping, harmonic, or hybrid picking licks and things like that. Do you think in terms of scales and chords, or are you just going more openly?
No. I'm like I'm not a theory guy, so um, I think it's very mixed. Back in the days, I didn't use theory at all. Like I was not doing, I was not knowing what I'm doing. I could not read like any sheets or like notes, whatever. It was strange land to me. Um, Now I'll try to think about it more often, but it's just really it's a rare case for sure. Um, what I did was I tried to like emulate certain progressions that I produce with like a synthesizer or like a keyboard, like MIDI roll, and try to play those chords. For example, I don't know why, but they're like so there are not too many guitarists that are playing all the ninth chords that I am doing, because it is more like a way like piano players would do and fill in their chords. But I just love the way it sounds. It's like so open, you know. Um, and yeah, that is my approach to chords. It's very piano orientated, I would say, in a way.
Well, someone's also asked, how do you come up with these chords on the spot? Like you doing an example earlier, you playing like an open E and then you
Yeah.
went up. Is the answer to that just years of exploring and making notes of when things
Yes,
sound good and work?
I don't have like a proper answer for you. I'm sorry about that, but it is just like it is it is just exploring. Like imagine playing Skyrim or Oblivion and you know the entire map is because you just played it for like hundreds of hours. Um, yeah, they're laughing because they know what I mean. Um, so it's just like um, it's just exploring. Like that's your map. That is your map. Um, I'm talking into like nerd language right now because I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. But yeah, this is your territory. This is like your fucking war zone over here.
I
So
got it.
you
I'm
have to
just a little
like,
bit older, so I had to think of like Zelda. I was like, okay,
oh
just
yeah,
apply it to
yeah.
Zelda, and
And you
I'll
got like
understand.
your quests in here, and you have to explore, and everything is nice. You could just literally like do whatever and do like, all right, that sounded like shit, but you guys know what I mean, right? Just this is what I did. It was just like doing whatever without like any fear of doing something wrong, and I discovered things. Yeah.
Nice. Before we get on to the next topic, some people have asked on YouTube, because I think a bit got cut off, about what's happening with the book. There's a special pre-order sale. If you click the link on YouTube, it's like 16 bucks. That'll be live for the next 24 hours. So you get a discount on the PDF. The paperback will be live on Amazon tomorrow. Anyone who signed up for this, you'll be emailed about it. You'll be emailed links of how to get it. If you didn't sign up for this, go to guitarvivo.com/guitar, put your email in, and you'll get the links. Cool. The next chapter in the book is, let me find it. So, the next chapter is thumping and slapping and popping and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So I'm guessing this is another one you stole from another instrument.
No.
No.
No. That one, you would assume that I stole thumping from bass, but no, the obvious one I stole from guitar. Obviously I stole it from Tosin Abasi for sure. Like he's the thumping god. Like he did the thing. But um, me and Tim, we were both like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird to have like this thing. I still don't know like properly like how he's doing it. But it was 2020 where Tim Henson from Polyphia, he had a feature on our song, and the song is called Real, and he came out with that thing. And I was like, dude, that is sick. And so I don't know, I think I was doing the Tosin thing, and Tim also took like lessons from like Tosin, and I don't know. Then we kind of like mixed the thumping thing with like the finger style picking, which is super sick, and it just went from there.
Could you just show us the slowly the
Yeah.
double thumping thing and how you're getting in there and popping with the thumb as well?
So throw away your pick, That was stupid. Um.
The next chapter is alternate picking, so we're going to need to find that.
Oh, I got one more here. All right. So take your thumb and put your hands on the full strings in here. Make yourself comfortable for sure. Like don't stretch something that is a little bit weird, and just hit your thumb between the E and the A string like this, and then you're like, you should be in here, like this. And what you can do is pull back the thumb like this, and you get that sound.
Oh, amazing. So you're going in straight, but then you're coming out upwards,
Yeah,
and you're aiming for the space in between.
yeah. And you get the attack from like a little hand movement like this. It's like slapping a bass basically. And if you want to be extra cool, you can use your index finger and your middle finger for the the other strings like this. So I'll really go almost 100% below these strings. Um, I don't know because I don't have nails, but I would assume if you got nails, that stuff could be quite difficult. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someone with nails in the chat can just like write it in the chat because I don't know if that affects the playing. But yeah, you can start with that and then go from like to slow to fast. Like this. Nails help on the thumb. Oh, really?
Wow. Well, we had another question about it, which was, do you always hit in the middle of the strings, or do you sometimes play it muted with the thumb and then pull up like Tosin as well? So
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to like all the fast thing, I don't go like right in there. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like punch your pickup, but it helps to like orientate yourself. Yeah, and what I do after that, I'm not sure if that's in the book, but probably it is. If you got that movement, is do like selective picking, because then you can leave out a movement. So in that time, you can position yourself and you can like start again.
Well, yeah, one thing, it's not in the book, but you mentioned this on a call a while back, is that you like how you can play a single note and color it different ways when you're thumping because you can do the hammer on, do the downstroke, and then do the pluck, and you've got three distinct sounds. And if
Yeah,
you're playing that like rapidly,
absolutely.
it's cooler than just picking it.
Yeah.
Right. So, some questions on this. What's the best pickup position for thumping, and how do you dial in your tone for thumping? Are there any considerations
Oh,
for that?
yeah. Um, well, if you got like a Strat or an AZ or whatever, like I use the 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm stupid. The fourth position um is that one. And I don't know, it's just like it gives you like this single call sound. And like now, I don't have anything on. Like I don't have compression on. It's just my amp and the guitar. That's it. Um, if you got like the right pickups for it and the right guitar, it should be nice. There's no correct answer to that. It's just like the sound you want to achieve. But my sound is just that one is default. Like you can literally like plug it in and into your Marshall amp, clean, and if you got like the guitar, put your fourth position in there, and you're good to go.
Nice. Someone's asked, so when you're doing this live, what happens to the pick? Can you tuck it somewhere in the pinky, or do you just throw it? Or
Oh yeah, that's the funniest thing. Honestly, there's so many situations and unfortunately videos on the web where I completely fucked that part up. Um, it can be so. My goal is to have it in my mouth, but when you're like moving all the time, it can happen that you will lose it and you will look like shit then, and you don't know what to do. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What I try is to like to get this part right before the thumping part, and to just, I don't know, search for like a nice spot when you can put it in your mouth and then go. If you have really advanced, I'm not, then you can like do this and thumb, oh, or like this, pinky and ring finger. But 99% of the time, I will lose it. Um, it happened to me a lot, so I don't know what the correct answer is. I need the correct answer by myself, though. Um, honestly,
you need like a little pocket on the front of the guitar, you can just drop it in.
yeah. No, but with all seriousness, my way to go, or like on the last 4 tours, maybe I'll do this. But it is weird because then you can like you are like really limited on your thumping technique because you can play everything, almost everything, but you still have like your pinky and your ring finger that is missing. And then you can do this again, and then you can do this again. But like I said, like I'm fucking up this time. Like I'm really shit with that one, with the switch up. I will lose my pick all the time.
Um, Someone's asked, is it valid to play the down pick with the thump to play a real note and then just play the thump upwards for the percussion? So when you're doing the double thumping, do you ever play an actual note with the downstroke with the thumb going in?
Oh no, it's all dad. Ow. I never do this. I never do this. That one is always dad. Like when I play notes, I'll just like fingerstyle play it like this and pump it really like go there and just smack everything out of the string. But when I thump, it's just like all dad. Yeah.
And when you are doing that, what's the contact point with the string? Is it the knuckle? What's hitting the low E string in that? Or is it?
It's that part. Like this.
Awesome. Right, we'll move on to the next chapter, which is legato and slides. I think we've got time to do a couple more chapters. So, well, legato and slides, maybe if we haven't got time to do everything, we should prioritize some of the more unique stuff that people know you for. I'll let you pick then. So we've got legato and slides, chordal techniques, so some of the triple stops and all the weird chordal stuff you do, and picking techniques, so alternate picking and pinch harmonics. Which of those would you like to talk about?
Should we let the chat
Let the
decide?
people vote.
Yeah.
Go on then, guys. You have the power. Chordal stuff, chords. Oh god, you guys There's some cultured people. We're going for chords. Nice.
All right.
So we've got 150 chords, one reverse slide. Okay, I think we'll talk about chords.
Yeah, of course it is.
So chordal techniques and things like that. You do a lot of chordal
Oh
sliding.
my God. Come to Brazil, hordes. Fuck.
That's creative. I like it.
Um. All right. So yeah. Chords. Like I said, like I'm really searching for like the whole open chords package, and that's the reason why mostly I'm writing an E minor or B minor when you're like in standard tuning, or sometimes C sharp when you got like songs like this where you can like use the the open strings. So basically, I'll try to like be as full as possible. Like imagine having two guitarists and you want to play um something poly. But I want to do this like with one guitar. Like so what I do, especially with like the whole E minor range, is to always let the high E or the B string ring, and then try to fill everything else with other notes. It is the same with cooking, honestly. Like you have a great meal and you just like need some sauce here, something here, more salt here, pepper here. This is what I do with chords. Like, let's start with, I don't know, a C major chord. All right, you got your root like this. Then you need something that, the salt that spices things up. You got like the quints. Then you can go for an octave, but honestly, it's just like it's you got that. You have these like information already given with the root. So you go for either that one, which is a little bit more like dreamy. Some Blink song starts with that one. Yeah, whatever. Um, or you go with something that is kind of out of the pocket. Should not work on paper, but it's kind of working because it's a different frequency range, like this. You know? And the most exciting thing about that chord is that it is not major and not minor. So you can like add whatever with it afterwards. It is like that cooking recipe thing that you can add with any meal, kind of. Because you can go like major, or you can go minor. It doesn't change, but it adds kind of that sauce. And now you're like super lucky because you're like in E minor technically. And can like add those like two high strings that kind of like fills it up. This is my approach to like chords. Like I really try to like be open as possible and
So
very like
you're not kind
sometimes.
of you're not locked into like naming or systems. It's more about bass note and adding color
Yeah,
and picking out the colors you want, more than it is about having a set name and formula.
100%.
And then when you're taking this, you're composing with stuff like this. Well, actually, when you compose, do you start melodically or do you start with writing a progression? How does that work?
90, I would say 80% I start with like, or maybe 90% I start with melody. I got a melody, and then I want to like add chords after that. Honestly, the best example would be Redbone, Redbone or Blackbone. Like the rendition that I did like back in the days with like no, wait a second, that's Blackbone. Uh, you got this melody, and what do you want to do? You can like program bass, and you can like jam with someone and just like do, you know, the thing, or you can like easily just do by yourself. So you can like build your own chords with like this melody. Um, yeah,
Awesome. And if someone wants to take that even further, they can add in some more color notes and some open strings and things like that,
yeah.
and fatten out the sound. Okay, cool. Um, so someone's asked. So the most important thing is to remember to play as much as possible with open strings. That's just a huge part of your sound, right? And the texture
It
you
is
like.
a very huge sound of very huge part of my sound. It is not something that other guitarists would go for. Like I said, like I have my own approach, and you guys probably have your own approach. This is just like it is not a way to go. I always say this, like this is not a way to go. There are like no rules in music, um, gladly, but this is just like my thing that I love, like about chords, like these open things. But you can try to do this also, like not when you like in E or B or like C sharp. You can like go, but then you have to do like a lot with like beret, which is heavy.
Hmm.
You know,
We had a question about tonal considerations when you're playing these chords, because obviously you don't want too much distortion, things like that. Do you have any advice for like a good tone for these kinds of chords?
no,
No,
just
no set rules.
use whatever you want to use, honestly, because each amp sounds different, and each amp has its own vibe. You know, um, I don't know. I would not use chords when it comes to like very distorted fuzz pedals or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
just some common sense. Apply common sense and listen to what you're playing.
but
Right.
maybe there will be someone who is super sick with chords and fuzz. You know, anything can happen.
Awesome. So what we'll do is we'll to bring this kind of to a close. We'll just go through some of these questions
Yeah.
and, and knock a few of these out. So someone's asked, do you use exotic scales besides major and minor? So maybe you could just talk a little bit about scales and your approach to melody and things like that.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I think I never wrote something in particularly with like a scale in mind. Like I don't have a scale in mind and say like, oh, I'm gonna go with a what is there like a Phrygian chord, whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, you guys know probably like abandoned, which is technically like a Phrygian. Um, you got this one, which is I think Phrygian, or like a mixture between like Phrygian and minor. I think I never wrote something in Dorian or like Ludian or whatever. I don't know. It's just like it sounds too fairy tale-ish for like my music taste, you know? Um,
Yeah, that's a great analogy for it. Now that you say it, it does sound they are fairy tale modes. Cool. Um, Someone's asked a little bit about your approach to vibrato and what you're doing there.
yeah. Um, I don't know. Loads of people, as I was a teenager back in the days, they said my vibrato was shit because it was super fast. Um, but I think I always tried to like aim for a very Asian sounding vibrato. You guys know probably like these Asian erhus or like these violins or whatever. They sound really like this. I just love that. And you can like combine it with like all the tapping things like this, and it sounds like a different instrument, which is amazing. How am I doing this? So I'll just have a very fast vibrato. Honestly, it's just very fast and like not controlled at all. Like as fast as possible. Not too wide though. It's like not like this. It's very subtle. You can try it by yourself for sure. It's like very subtle but very fast.
Nice. I definitely see the reference there,
Yeah.
like Oriental kind of thing. What is the most typical element of your eight-string tone? Why does it sound so different from other people's?
8 string. Um. So you're probably referring to the and everything in between tone. So you guys know, I don't know if I can turn the camera on there, but I just recently showed this in my studio vlog for like the members. Um, all right, these what I used is are you guys familiar with like Synergy? It's like they built like amps with companies that are producing these modules right here, like this. For example, this is the Angle one. I got like a Synergy owned called 2CP that I used for the and everything in between tone. And it is not too much gain. The gain honestly comes from the guitar itself, and it is that one. Probably have to dial back the gain because that output from this guitar is insane. You kind of hear it. Um, so this guitar has it sounds like a machine. I don't know. It's so percussive, and this is where my like idea came from. Like I just go back with the gain on the amp and destroy the hell out of those strings. And the same is for like the tone itself. All right, that one is a little bit more tone. Oh, sorry, that one's probably a little bit loud. So it's like really not too much gain, but it's just like the guitar, which makes it like more tidied up when it comes to chords, especially, and when it comes like all the percussive little things. Because if you use like too much gain for like the percussive strumming, you got like so many frequencies that you don't want there. But if you dial back the gain, it's like very tight. So yeah, that's my approach.
When you're doing the percussive strumming on that, you're still aiming for the same like string groupings that you did on the standard tune guitar, right?
Yeah,
EAD.
absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. Someone's asked what gauge you're using on the 8 string.
What?
What gauge are you using on the 8 string?
I think these are 8046. Yeah.
I have no idea about 8 string guitar. And what is it? Didario, what brand do you use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The NYXLs.
Awesome. Someone said, is your solo stuff mostly using the quad cortex?
Uh, no. So now, right now, I'm with the cortex because it's just like easy for me to like explain things and like go back and forth between tones. But I'm using the synergy one, with like with just the cap, the amp. Sorry, not the cap. And then I'm like using a shit ton of plugins. Um, for reverb, sometimes I use the Mixwave one. Sometimes I use like Valhalla reverb, and compression and something is just like all plugins, like mixing and producing plugins like Slate Digital or whatever. So yeah, my approach is more like a producer and not like a guitarist. Like I don't play with pedals or something. Um, which is probably a shame sometimes, but it's just the way I learn things because I started to produce at a very young age. So I don't know. I think sometimes more as a producer than a guitarist.
Awesome. And what's the difference between like your recording studio setup and live, or is it kind of digital live?
Yeah. So I mean, the for like the album tone, I used the Synergy module one and then captured it with a quad cortex neural. So it is basically the same. I added the post production like EQ compression. I can I can show you what I mean. For example, this is just the capture. This is compression, and then the EQ. So it's just like straight like the record. I just captured it.
So, and I'll keep going quickly through these questions. Someone's asked, do you ever still use neural DSP plugins? Like, do you still use the Tim Henson one?
No, no, not really. Um, it's just all my I don't know, my module. Um, but yeah.
And someone's asked, how do you edit or track crazy licks? Do you usually try playing the whole thing or the whole riff in one take, or do you go for separate sections?
Oh yeah, hell no. When it comes to like those crazy fast licks, I don't go with like a full take. I would love to, but I would be lying if I would tell you guys that it's just like a one take or something. Um, especially for the unprocessed stuff. Um, I very much like do it like part for part. Like even do like and then stop and do like or like you know because in that way I can challenge my inner self to like go like to be better. Um, I ride beyond my ability 90% of the time. So I record something that I'm not able to play during that time. And then I have to learn it to get better because I don't want to fuck it up live. That's my approach.
Nice. I'll keep plowing through. Any tips on filling blank spaces between chords? And is it all about filling all the empty spaces in the song, or do you let the melody breathe sometimes?
Yeah. Um, I mean, if you write a song, you should write for the song and not for the sake of being technical. Um, sometimes, I mean, in the past I did that loads, but now it's just like good songs. And if you got like a nice chord and a nice melody, sometimes there's no need to fill gaps with licks or something. Um, yeah, but it's just it all comes down to your own approach for sure.
Nice. Someone on YouTube has asked, Victor on YouTube, hi Vic, has asked, at the moment, do you currently have a practice schedule or routine, or is it just composing, producing, and living up to what you write?
Yeah, yeah. So many of you guys are like asking me about like practice routine and warm up, and I always have to let you down because there's like none. I don't have like I never like do practice routines or like warming up or something like that. I always go with like into the studio with like a melody or like a song or like a riff in mind, and then just start to play that. The only time that I like really focus on like practicing is like for live. But if I would, if I could suggest you something, is like, for example, for like the whole percussive strumming thing, it's just like the down down up technique is probably the best way to like introduce your body to like the whole technique and to warm up your hands. Probably, yeah.
Nice. Got a good question here. How many songs do you usually write before deciding which ones to put on the album?
So for and everything in between, we wrote. I wrote 10 songs. So that is not the case most of the times because we had 9 songs on the record and one did not make it to the record. Probably will show it to you guys whenever. I don't know. But yeah, but for gold, for example, we got like maybe 30 songs. Um, but there are like so many bands who like write a shit ton of songs and music and they're like not making it. Like for example, I heard that Linkin Park wrote like 56 or 50 or 60 songs and there are like only maybe 12 songs sometimes on the record, which is crazy to me. I could not do that. I would cry. Um, but yeah,
Cool. Quick one. What was the custom VIP guitar you used? The white one.
I used a custom white guitar on the tour.
Custom VIP? Does that mean anything?
Custom VIP. I did not use a custom VIP. Oh, yeah. So it's not a custom. It's not a custom. It is the one of the newest 8 string by Ibanez, but it's not custom. I don't know what it is.
Next question. Do you use an EQ for your six-string guitar clean tone?
An EQ. So yeah, I mean it depends. Like for live, it has to be. I think really. I don't know. There is not a specific EQ I'm using. Sometimes it can happen that like each song has a different EQ on the chord cortex, but I'm not using an EQ.
Someone's asked, what's the hardest flex you can do? Maybe we can change that to what's the most difficult and challenging song you have to play live? Or what's the hardest flex you can do?
It's probably Die on the Cross of the Matzah. No, it's not. It's thrash. Is it? Probably, yeah. The opening part to thrash is something that really messes with my head all the time.
How do you approach solo writing, like for Blackbone? And someone's asked, play Backbone.
Yeah, I see a lot of Blackbone in the chat for sure because that is one of the singles that we didn't play on the tour. Um, what
Oh
was the
yeah,
next
someone's
one?
asked, will we be seeing Backbone live this tour?
Oh yeah. Well, it all comes down to how good we are in the rehearsals. Because the thing is like it was our plan to like play the full record even on the US tour, but we didn't have the time to like practice all of them. But we will have more time to practice for the EU tour, so it most likely will happen that we will play the full record, um, even with Purgatory. Um, yeah, Blackbone and Purgatory and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Probably, I'd say 90% yes.
I've got a question. If you were to prescribe a song, so say if you want to get the best intro to all the things I do, and to study like all as much of me as possible in one song, which song of yours should people learn?
Probably Blackbone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Blackbone has like a solo, which I never do, and all the crazy techniques. There's one technique missing, which is not a really technique, but it's the helicopter riff. But that one is thrash. But yeah,
We'll bring this to a close. We've got a couple of just quick questions. Do you have any plans for Asia to go back there
yeah,
or do that?
yes, yes, yes. The tour is not cancelled. It is it is just rescheduled. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but it most likely will be in the beginning of next year.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but whatever.
and then the final question we'll go with: what does a writing session with unprocessed look like? Do you guys sit in the rehearsal space, or do you write all the riffs and finish them with David?
Yeah, so it's mostly like this. Just me in front of the computer, like in my studio, and just writing. Um, like right before the masterclass, I had my project open with like a new and process song. Um, oh damn, I just spoiled it hardly, but whatever. Yeah, so yeah, it's just like me right now here in the space, and then I most likely like just send it to the boys and say, yo, you guys like that? And yeah.
Okay, I have to ask this final question because got posted about 10 times. When you go into a guitar store and you try out a guitar, what do you play? What song? What's your go-to testing a guitar song?
Testing a guitar song. Jesus. Um, it's probably something from unprocessed, honestly. I sound like like an asshole, but it's probably something from unprocessed. Um, yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna have to ask this question because it's great.
Yeah.
What are your biggest tips for those also trying to pursue a similar career to you?
Uh, don't do it. No. No, no, no. I'm just kidding. Um, get yourself out there, I would say. Just try to get yourself out there with the help of social media or with the help of like playing live, because if you're not showing your talent, nobody will see it, and you won't allow yourself to be lucky to pursue your dream. Um, and the number one rule is to have fun. If you don't have fun, it's not worth it at all. Um, but yeah, get yourself out there, get yourself seen, show your music, and yes,
Amazing. Someone's also said thumb slapping the Seinfeld intro. I don't know if that's if you're saying what your biggest flex is or if you're making a request, but
thumb stepping the
thanks for your comment.
Seinfeld intro. What is that? Am I missing something? I don't know what it is.
I think that's their biggest flex. Um, right, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Manu, thank you so much for your time and answering all these questions and doing some killer demos. You sounded great. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for like checking in. And yeah, let's not forget the book.
Yes. So the pre-orders are live now. You can pre-order the PDF. The link is on the page that got you here. If you go back to your email and click it, there's a little link to pre-order it. So it comes out tomorrow, but I put a little link up early so you can get it at a discounted rate. And the paperback is out tomorrow on Amazon. You'll all get an email with a link because it'll also be up there at a discounted rate for about 24 hours. So watch out for the email. The moment you get the email, you'll need to go before the price goes up on Amazon. Manu, anything we need to look out for from you? What's next? What should we be following?
There's a shit ton of things coming next, but honestly, I would be the happiest person on earth to just like share it with you, but I can't. But y'all probably know what's going to happen, but I'm just like not allowed to say it. But it is the biggest thing for me ever. It was always the biggest thing. Now with the book, now with something else. And yeah, just keep your eyes open. Um, and we'll see.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been so much fun. We will, yeah, let us know your feedback on the book. When you guys learn the songs, post it, tag us, and we'll check them out.
Yes.
Thank you all. See you soon.
Bye.